Now this next feature is one of those features that is so cool nobody knows about it. And it's actually something that's been in Photoshop for quite some time, and it's called Blend If. You may have heard it, you may have seen it, you may even actually use it, but you'd be surprised the number of people that don't take advantage of this feature, and it isn't always their fault. It's always largely because they don't know where it is. It is kind of a hidden feature. You have to go and look for it. You almost have to be shown how it works in order to really take advantage of it. And hopefully that's what you take from this video here. So I'm just going to show you a few examples to really give you a good idea of how this feature works. Now, first of all, where is it located? It's actually located in the Layer Style panel. So if you have a graphic, you can go to your Layer Style menu here at the bottom, and you go to the very first option here, which is Blending Options. It's also available if you go into the Layer menu, and once again go to Layer Style and choose Blending Options here. So go ahead and open that up, and here it's the very top. Different from the other blend modes, these are just a number of blending options you have available to you, but Blend If is down here at the very, very bottom. Now, how does it work? In those scenarios where you want to blend two layers and blend modes aren't really going to give you what you want, or perhaps you've got a blend mode that you like, but it's just not there yet, you can certainly play around with these Blend If sliders and see what results you can get. But I just want to show you a couple of scenarios where they really, really come in handy. For instance, here, I've got this graphic, and this is something I've used before in this demo. I've got this graphic of this burst, this starburst behind this text. Now the problem is, you can see in the layers panel, the burst is on a black background. It's a flat image, but I want the beams of the light here to be in front of the text. Well, I could try different blend modes, and I certainly did try other blend modes, and they weren't really giving me what I was wanting. And you'll notice the text layer is above that burst layer here. So if you go into the Blend If sliders, you'll see two sliders, one for this layer and one for the underlying layer. Each one has these sets of sliders at each end. Now it looks like one slider, it's actually two, but you can actually move these and determine which light or dark areas of an image are going to be blended or not blended. For instance, here in the case of this starburst, well, if I go and grab the underlying layer and the light end, I want to bring forward the lights. If I grab this and just slide it forward, notice what's happening to those bursts in the image there. It's allowing that lightness to come through, but it's just too rough. The edges are just too terrible, and it's just not looking like it should. Well, if you hold down the Option key on Mac, Alt on Windows, and grab that slider and split it, you can smooth that transition, and notice what's happening to the burst now. It's much smoother. It's appearing as though it's in front of the text. It's now giving me that more realistic look on that element. And that's all I'm going to do in this case, and click OK. Now, when previous versions of Photoshop, you would not be able to know whether or not you did a Blend If adjustment until you actually went inside that panel to see if the sliders were adjusted. Now you have this little overlapping squares here indicating that you've added a blending feature in addition to a layer style in this case on this particular layer. And it's allowing that beam to beam through. So it determines how layers blend based on the lightness and darkness of the image, and you use those sliders to adjust the intensity of that. Here's another example. If I go and grab, I've got a wood texture here, and this is a very common use for this feature, especially if you're a designer. I've got a graphic here in Illustrator. It's this vector graphic of this kind of surf logo. It looks really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that to the clipboard and then jump back over to Photoshop and paste it as a smart object. So it'll paste it in here as a vector smart object. I'm going to go ahead and scale it down and even just rotate it a little bit. Now what I want to do is to make this appear as though it is blending in this wood, like it was painted into the texture of the wood. Well, I could certainly first start with blend modes and just toggle through and see which ones might help me with that. And some of them look pretty good. The problem is that they tend to blend the colors of the image as well. You can see hard lights, not too bad, but it's really intensified the oranges. You know, and the blend modes just aren't giving me what I want in this case. So let's bring it back to normal. And let's go into that blending options. So I'm going to go into the effects menu here, choose blending options. And down here in the Blend If slider, again, you've got this layer and underlying layer. So you can determine if you want to bring forward the dark areas or light areas of the underlying layer, or bring or tone back the darker or lighter areas of the existing layer. So this layer represents the current layer you're on. The underlying layer represents the layer just below it, which in this case is that wood texture. And I wish I could tell you that there is a formula that you dive right into and start adjusting to, and that's going to give you the results you want. Unfortunately, every image is going to be different, and every image is going to blend differently. So we're going to need to just try some experimentation. But there's never a time I have used this feature and not split the sliders to smooth the transition. So let's just split this underlying layer, the dark slider here, and move it toward the center, and notice what's happening. The darker areas of that wood texture are starting to peer through, and that texture really starting to look like it blends into the background there. So let's actually, all right, tone down the lighter areas just a hair on this layer, bring forward those dark areas even more so. And it really depends on how weathered you want it to look. You can really make it look like it's fading away. Notice the higher I get, the more faded the graphic becomes. I can just make it more subtly faded just by moving these sliders just like this. But a greater degree of control, and it's maintaining its natural color state, not being affected by the blend modes here. And again, like a layer style, when I click OK, this is not a permanent fix. I can go in there and double click on here and go in there and pick up right where I left off and adjust those features. So again, really handy feature. You can see why it's hidden. It's not obvious. Now it's obvious because you have this little icon here, but it's not obvious where that feature is. You really have to have been shown it and see its effectiveness to really take advantage of it. Let me just show you one more example in the context of a design, perhaps like another movie poster design. This one I put together, and it's actually looking really good. I like the effect that's going on here, but I want to kind of blend her with the overall environment a little bit more. So I'm going to go in here and into that blending options window and just play around. So I'm going to actually take the underlying light slider and move it forward, and notice it's going to bring those lighter elements forward and blend her in a rather stylish way. It's ignoring the darker areas and just bringing those lighter areas forward. And let's just kind of mess with the other sliders and see what kind of results we get. Not so much that. So this layer sliders, so this underlying light slider, just splitting that up a little bit, maybe even toning back the darker areas just a hair. So notice in the underarm there, a little bit more of the buildings coming through. I don't want to lose her shape completely, but just let her blend to that background a little bit more. And look at the difference it's got. Really helps it blend. We can see more elements going on in the background here. So this is just another very stylish use of the blend if sliders, but you can start to see how important they can be when blending through blend modes just isn't working. And there's numerous ways, there's numerous options you can go. And like I said, you can combine these with blend modes. If you've got an image and you've got it set to like overlay blend mode, it's not quite there, you can tone it back a little bit. Remember I said you can tone it back by dropping the opacity of the layer down, but you can also tone it back by using those blend if sliders and having more control. You can tone back the darker areas if that's what's being a little bit overbearing, or tone down the lighter areas if that's being a little bit overbearing in that regard. So again, one of those hidden features, definitely want to experiment with it, really get used to it. Again, like I said, you go in there, it's really no formula to it. It's just a matter of going in there and moving the sliders around and seeing what the result is as you go. Remember to split those sliders though. It's holding down the Option key on Mac, Alt on Windows, and it allows you to grab that slider and split it to make that transition much more smooth.